Our story began on the Mississippi River, a place where commerce, culture, and community converged to shape our region. The maritime industry isn't just part of our past, it's a driving force for our future. The Louisiana International Terminal is a bold investment in that future. It builds on our state's well earned position as a leader in maritime trade and places St. Bernard Parish at the helm of the nation's premier maritime gateway. The Louisiana International Terminal is a forward looking solution designed to meet the demand and secure our state's economic future, bringing Louisiana 18,000 new jobs and over $1 billion in state tax revenue. The Crescent City Connection Bridge currently poses a threat to Louisiana's maritime industry. The bridge's height restrictions limit the ability of larger ships to reach the existing Port of New Orleans facilities. Without a new container terminal further downriver, Louisiana stands to lose business to competing ports, resulting in the loss of over 9,500 existing jobs and more than $200 million in state tax revenue. This is a critical moment for our state. Since submitting our permit application for the project in 2022, the Port of New Orleans has connected with the community through our Community Connection office in Violet, 9 open houses, 6 workforce development events, email newsletters, social media, mailers, and even local community events and festivals. We've also engaged 2 community advisory committees with a total of 65 members over the last few years through 43 meetings and counting. Through these interactions, we heard the community's key concerns, ranging from the terminal layout and traffic to air quality and sound, as well as wetlands and stormwater management. Today, we will talk through some of the community input we received and how we've incorporated it. Port Nola is providing environmental analysis to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers regarding these topics and more, and we are working through the permitting process. Regarding the terminal layout, we heard your feedback and reworked the entire design to ensure St. Bernard Highway remain near its current location. Rather than rerouting the roadway around the terminal, the layout you see today is a direct result of your input. We also added a dedicated Entergy substation and drainage infrastructure on the terminal site to limit any burden on the parish's existing systems. The terminal is designed with berms or small levees to keep water within the terminal area. There will also be retention ponds to collect stormwater and drainage canals to direct the water to a pump station near the 40 Arpent Canal. The newly installed drainage canals will also benefit Violet Square in particular, increasing drainage capacity for the area. This project will require dredging in one area and sand harvesting in 2 areas along the west bank of the river. Analysis show these activities will not impact the Mississippi River or the 40 Arpents levee's ability to protect the area from flooding. When it comes to stormwater management, wetlands were also a concern for the community. Port Nola originally purchased over 1,200 acres of land in the project area, most of which is classified as wetlands. However, the port is only applying for a permit to develop roughly 400 acres of wetlands for the Louisiana International Terminal. Per federal guidelines, Port Nola has proposed to offset this by purchasing mitigation bank credits within the Pontchartrain Basin. At this time, there are no plans to develop the remaining port-owned property for terminal operations. We've also heard the community's concerns regarding air quality. Analysis project that any emissions throughout the project's life from construction and operations will remain below national ambient air quality standards. Port Nola and our terminal operators are committed to using clean technologies to lessen any effects on air quality. This includes electric vehicles and equipment on the terminal to lower emissions. We will also offer container on barge services, which will decrease the number of trucks on the road, and the terminal will be built with future shore power capabilities, allowing vessels to plug into electric power while docking and minimizing emissions further. Sound levels from activities like pile driving during construction, as well as equipment noise and container handling during operations, have also been considered. Certain locations may experience more impacts than others based on proximity to the project. Our analysis have determined that, in general, locations in the surrounding neighborhood will experience construction sound levels equivalent to average office noise or lower. Once the terminal is operational, sound levels will be similar to those of background music at a restaurant. To lessen any effects, construction work will be limited during evening hours. Green space surrounding the project will also help dissipate sound over distances. Lastly, transportation in the area was of specific concern to the community. In addition to maintaining St. Bernard Highway's existing route, Port Nola has made additional changes to the terminal layout to improve the flow of vehicles in the area. This includes adding an overpass on St. Bernard Highway to avoid a rail crossing and placing the terminal entrance on Judge Perez Drive to eliminate the need for trucks to travel on St. Bernard Highway. In addition to these layout improvements, container on barge services will limit the number of trucks on the road, and we will give truck drivers appointment times to pick up and drop off containers, which will help avoid traffic congestion. Some intersections along Judge Perez Drive between the terminal to Paris Road may experience increased traffic delays over time as a result of the terminal. The Regional Planning Commission recently released a separate roadway network and resilience study that recommends improvements to lessen impacts related to vehicular and rail traffic. Port Nola fully supports parallel projects like this that have long been desired to help improve transportation in the area regardless of the terminal. Currently, W. Smith Elementary School is located within the terminal footprint. Port Nola is committed to working with local officials to fund the relocation of a new elementary school in Violet. As construction begins, access to the school will still remain intact for the community. The project will be built and opened in phases, meaning operational activities such as trucking will not be in full swing right away. The terminal is not anticipated to reach full capacity until 2050 at the earliest. As the terminal grows, so will the opportunities in St. Bernard Parish. In 2033, the parish will see over 2,000 jobs come to the area. By 2050, that number will more than double. This will include jobs on the terminal itself, ranging from longshoremen to administrative roles and even the Harbor Police Department. The average maritime salary is $75,000. Compared to the median household income in St. Bernard Parish of $45,000. Even beyond the terminal, other industries will grow in the area, including warehousing and logistics, retail, food and beverage, healthcare, and real estate. Tax revenues will also increase, with $27 million in annual tax revenue projected by 2033 and $41 million annually by 2050. The parish can use these tax dollars to support investments in parks and recreation, roads and bridges, public safety, and more. Collectively, these benefits will bring generational prosperity to St. Bernard Parish and its residents. We thank you for being here today and for your continued input throughout this process. We look forward to working with you toward a brighter future for St. Bernard, our region, and our state.